Hello and welcome inside the ACU TV or studio for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Cindy Varner alongside Connor Mullins. Our top stories this week include the start of SGA's Olympic Games Week, a new location for the intramural fields, and a recap of this past week in sports. This is the Optimist Newscast. Intramurals has teamed up with SGA to host an Olympic Games Week with events including track, swimming, bouldering, softball, and cornhole. Each team is required to both have 5 women and 5 men. Fraternities and sororities on campus are able to create teams, but the games are not limited to the clubs. The final events will be taking place this Thursday. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and students on campus are finding different ways to bring the issue to light. The Optimist London Gray has more.
On the second floor of the Hardin Administration Building in room 213, you can find Sharita Nickerson. She's ACU's Deputy Title IX Coordinator. Title IX is a federal amendment that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, and April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Nickerson says that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 8 men will report an experience of sexual assault while in college.
For the one complaint that we get in the door, we probably have 2 or 3 that did not come in. We want to make sure that everybody is aware of their rights and their resources that ACU has available during this month in particular.
ACU provides on-campus resources such as the Medical and Counseling Care Center and off-campus resources like the NOAA Project. In partnering with the NOAA Project, the Title IX office put on a What I Was Wearing display to challenge stereotypes of victim blaming.
We also have what's called the Clothesline Project out in the mall area, out near the Gator Fountain. And those are just t-shirts made by our students and maybe some faculty and staff, but our students primarily. And it's just talking about, their story, their survival story. And so we want people to look at those and know that we're here and we care and we want to help you.
Nickerson says that her office prioritizes education, awareness, and prevention. To increase sexual assault prevention, the ACU Police Department is hosting self-defense classes for women on the 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. The class is taught by previous Lieutenant Randy Motz. He says the class teaches women to avoid dangerous situations and how to easily deal with danger if it arises. Students can attend by emailing Lieutenant Motz at rdm12a@acu.edu. For The Optimist, I'm London Gray.
Construction plans were announced in the fall for the new Next Lab, which will take the place of the Larry Satch Sanders intramural fields. After starting demolition on the current fields, ACU has confirmed that the new intramural fields will be moved to the empty grass lot south of the football stadium. The new location, when complete, will provide 2 active playing fields complete with lights and bleachers. The Optimist Allie Jones took to campus this week to get some student opinions on bean cuisine on this week's episode of Street Cats.
Hey guys, welcome back to Street Cats. I'm your host, Allie Jones. If there's one thing college students can agree on, it's a good meal. So today we're looking at the Bean and other campus dining options and asking people how they really feel. Let's go. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank Bean food?
I rank it a solid 8, solid 9. Yeah, 8.
On a good day, I'll say the Bean is a solid 6.85. But on a bad day, the Bean is a solid 3.7.
I would probably rank it a solid 5, okay, or maybe a 6. I mean, it can be hit or miss day to day.
Yeah, so why do you think it changes so much? Why is it good one day and then bad the next?
Most of the time it's visit days that are really good days to eat at the Bean.
The Bean food is great on preview days. But other than that, straight mid.
Do you think that the other campus dining options are enough for people that don't want to eat in the Bean?
Yes, I do actually like it, but one more spot wouldn't hurt, but I like it a lot so far.
Not really, because they're kind of expensive for what they are a lot of the times, so.
What's the best part about the Bean?
The large tables to sit with people and the ability to just sit and hang out and eat as much as you want, so.
Miss Tammy's omelets and their chocolate chip cookies.
It's quick and it's fast and it's good food and it's like a home-cooked meal.
If you could change one thing about the Bean or see them implement something new, what would it be?
I would say just having more options consistently. I think a lot of the spots in here to eat stay pretty stagnant, and then there are a few that change, but when they change, there's so many lines that it's like you end up going back to the same stuff every day because you don't want to wait in line.
Try to change up the meals a little bit more. Sometimes I feel like I come in some days and it's like a little repetitive, but most days they switch it up pretty good, but just a little bit more.
Yeah. What's the worst thing about the Bean?
Freshmen.
While being world famous, it doesn't sound like the Bean will be winning a Michelin star anytime soon. But the company is sure to be entertaining. For The Optimist, I'm Allie Jones.
Beautiful.
Up next, Connor has an update on recent baseball and softball series. Connor?
Thanks, Sydney. Baseball went on the road against the Fresno State Bulldogs this past weekend. The first game included a pair of home runs from junior center fielder Grayson Tatro and sophomore shortstop Bash Randall, with ACU winning the first game 7-2. The second game was much more highly contested, with the Bulldogs winning 9-8. The Wildcats pulled ahead in the fifth after a 3-run inning and won 6-3 in the final game, winning the series 2-1. Head coach Rick McCarty said he was proud of the performance from his players last weekend.
Really great week for us. We got back yesterday afternoon. We don't have a game this week on purpose, just kind of get back and settle and get back to work. So UTRGV here this weekend. We'll start the second round of the WAC, and we're excited. I think we're set up to play really well in the back half, which is what our plan is to do.
The next series will be against WAC opponents UTRGV in Abilene at Crutcher Scott Field. The games will take place Friday evening at 6:05 p.m., Saturday at 3:05 p.m., and lastly Sunday at 1:05 p.m., with all three being broadcast live on ESPN+. Softball traveled to Stephenville to go up against the Tarleton Texans. In the first game, both teams had a slow start, ending 2-1 in Tarleton's favor. In the second game, ACU once again didn't see the scoreboard until the top of the sixth, losing 4-1. The Texans took the early lead, scoring 6 in the first 2 innings in the final game. The game ended 7-3 with Tarleton sweeping the Wildcats. Head coach Abigail Farler said she's expecting to see energy from her players this week.
Great for us offensively. Honestly, I was shocked to read that was her first and second college home runs, because we see that regularly from her in practice, and just know that she's capable of that. But that was great to see her step up and provide some run support for us. And I thought she did well in a relief role pitching for us this weekend, so that was kind of nice to see her shift her role pitching as well and do a good job.
The Wildcats will be hosting Texas Tech this Wednesday, April 20th at 5 p.m. and broadcast live on ESPN+. Women's tennis had their last home matches this weekend, also against Tarleton for Senior Day, when they recognized seniors Sylvia and Danielle Villon, Allison Stewart, and Ileana Moxiola. The Wildcats had a rough start to the day after losing doubles to the Texans. The third match of doubles went unfinished after TSU won the first 2. The singles matches were much more highly contested, with the first court to finish giving the Texans the early lead. The first Wildcats point on the board came from the second singles match, which junior from Mexico City, Mexico, Andrea Guerrero won. ACU started to climb back with the second point coming from freshman Paula Garote from Cartagena, Spain. The Texans ultimately won a close series 4-3. Assistant coach Brian Rainwater said Saturday was an emotional matchup for him and the seniors.
Our team really came together this weekend for the seniors. I was really excited about that. They were putting on war paint in the locker room and things like that. So it was a really just special weekend for the seniors, and I'm glad we kind of got to have a really energetic and a good match overall to send them.
The women will travel to Beaumont, Texas for the WAC championships this Friday, April 22nd. The team will be going up against Grand Canyon University, with this being their first meeting since 2014. That's all for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Connor Mullins.
And I'm Sydney Varner. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.